Hey guys, I had to talk about this. If you've heard of the Wheel of Time TV series coming out, you probably already know about the casting. And if you know about the casting, you probably already know about the controversy about the casting. Now, I am not here to say yay or nay at the casting, although I will say what my opinion is. My opinion is that the casting is poorly done. Um, I think that if you cast a movie or a television series, you should cast it in a way where the actors look like the characters they're portraying. Now, there's a lot of contention out there about how Two Rivers folk are darker than Rand. Um, One, they don't mention skin color. They mention that they have darker hair and eyes. And two, um, Rand, the reason why it's weird that ale or ale, I'm going to say ale because that's what I've always said, even though it's spelled like the fucking drink. The reason why ale are so are amazing to be pale is because they live in the fucking desert. Almost in no fiction are desert dwellers pale, and almost nowhere on Earth is there a huge desert, and the predominant ethnicity is Caucasian. So that's why it's amazing. It's not amazing because they're paler than wetlanders or people in the Westerlands or Randland, I suppose you could say, like fans like to call it. And again, I know I said earlier that this is not about a yay or nay, and I'll get to it. Don't worry. But like this isn't like arguing book canon against book canon. Like it's not like saying on the one side you have people that want to be like the book, and some characters or the Two Rivers characters are dark skinned, and on the other side people want to be like the book. The Two Rivers characters are light skinned. They are supposed to be light skinned. There are other people in the Westerlands who are darker skinned noticeably than they are, and yet they are still not dark skinned. Like I think the Domani and the Sea Folk, especially, they are darker skinned, yet they are not black. The Sea Folk might be, but they're still presumably lighter skinned than Tuon, and Tuon is black. So Two Rivers folk are shades of white below almost everybody except perhaps Rand. Although, like I said, people always thought Rand was weird not because of his skin color, but because of his height and his red hair. This is mostly a video about how people shouldn't fight over it. Like if you like the casting choice, that's fine. That's good for you. People shouldn't make fun of you for it. People shouldn't think you're an idiot for it. Um, People shouldn't, you know, be a fucking, well, for lack of a better term, a Nazi over it. Even though that word is used far too many times these days. Um, but at the same time, you also shouldn't call someone a racist if they're against the casting choice. It's just not in the books. It just isn't. I've read them 4 times over. It's not how it is. Although I will say this, I saw Ariel Burgess, I believe her name is, and Brandon Sanderson. Ariel Burgess, I hope I'm saying the name right, because one, I'm a big fan of her art. She's a really good artist. And two, if she's watching this, I don't want her to cringe at me saying her name. Um, Her and Brandon Sanderson commented saying that they were both somewhat taken aback at first by the casting choices, but then they also thought after that the casting choices were done well and they have no problems with them because of culture today and because of how more understanding we are than we were when Robert Jordan was alive. Um, One thing I will say is, one, nothing has changed since Robert Jordan was alive. He wasn't in the civil rights era. He died in the early 2000s, which I'm 28 years old. I think he died when I was 15 or something, maybe 14 or 13. There's not a big span of time, so it's not like it's been a long time ago. There's been no racial revolution, no political landscape has changed. Well, maybe some political landscape, but not in that kind of politics, and more like, there's a new president, shit like that. Brandon Sanderson especially said that. Ariel Burgess was being very nice, and I don't want to say anything weird, so I might need to read her statement again, so I don't want to say anything out of context. But Brandon Sanderson especially said that Robert Jordan's time was in a different era culturally and racially, and that is completely incorrect. I respect Sanderson. He's great at what he does. Um, Although I will say that I do listen to Writing Excuses, which is the podcast he's on and that he hosts, or that he's usually the host for. And he tries to be extra, I hate this word, I hate new words. He tries to be extra woke on it, about saying like diversity for diversity's sake is a reward in and of itself, and I don't agree with that really. Um, but uh, where was I? But yeah, when you see it like that, him saying stuff like that, um, and yet he spent almost an entire episode talking about it and writing excuses. Um, it's just like the people who tiptoe that much. Of course, they're going to be for the casting choices, and this is the main point of the thing of this video is that when Ariel Burgess and Brandon Sanderson said they were at first taken aback, but then they changed their mind and they're thinking that this is a good thing. And when people who didn't originally envision these characters to be darker skinned, now they are, and they're like, we should be okay with it. I want you to I want you to know something. I realize, and I can't believe I'm saying this again, and I don't mean saying it to y'all again. I mean saying it in general because I always have to fucking say this. But I realize you're coming from a place to where you're trying to be a better person, but you weren't a bad person to begin with. All right? Look at me. You were not a bad person to be taken aback by the casting choice. You're not a racist. Okay? You're not. You're not a bad person. You were right to feel that way because that is the book canon. And because it's the book canon, you should want it to be true to the book canon. You should not go, oh, but wait, today's cultural landscape. Of course, yes, black people and brown people and all these red people, I'm really fucking light right now, but in case you didn't notice, I'm a fucking person of color. My dad's side of the family is Native American. You know, I speak a little bit of Seminole. That is a part of my backstory. When I'm going on vacation, I come up from the beach. I am literally caramel colored. Um, it's just I know what it's like to be marginalized and generalized. I don't care. Don't fucking mess with the media that I enjoy. All right, just don't do it. Okay, it's just people who want to change it because they want to feel better about themselves rather than what the television show should be like, which is make the TV series make me watch the books in real live action in real time. That's no longer the case anymore. Now it's let's let people who feel marginalized feel better about themselves, which you got after school programs for that shit. All right. You got friends for that. You got me talking to people in PMs and DMs about that. If people feel marginalized, then I'll talk to them about it and I'll try to make them feel better because God knows I felt that. But don't put your, sorry, I almost got mad. Don't put that stuff in television series. Now, I'm not going to watch this show, but it's not because of the casting choices. I'm not going to watch the show because television series based on fantasy books never work out. Game of Thrones is the sole exception, and of course, at the ending there, that didn't really work out. Although, obviously, it wasn't based on the books near the ending, but still. But like, the more fantastical a setting, the worse it gets. And there was also a correlation in Game of Thrones. The more fantastical Game of Thrones got, the worse it got, even before it passed the books. Like, season 5 was in the books, and everyone says season 5 was the worst season before season 8, you know? And Wheel of Time is very fantastical. And it has so many gender things that it's not going to be okay today. It's not going to be okay. It's not going to be like the books at all. People like the books. And I like the books. And I'm not going to watch a bastardized version of the books filled with people's agendas and people's ideals that I either don't share or I share, but I don't think it's enough to ruin a series. You know, so I'm just not going to watch it. It just, I don't watch television series based on books that I enjoy. Just like I don't watch movies based on books that I enjoy. I have an easier time watching a movie and then reading the book that's about it rather than doing vice versa. Because chances are you're going to be really disappointed. The book is always going to be better. And so I'm not gonna watch this shit. Uh, but, but, if you are, all power to you. If you think the character casting his choice is good, then all power to you. Just don't think people are racist because of it. And don't say that it's book canon because it's fucking not. But like, yeah, like, I'm not gonna boycott the show. Even if I was watching the show, I'm not gonna boycott it. I'm not gonna be like, we need to raise arms and go against it. But like, you know, people are right to be a little peeved at it. Although they're not right to make fun of other people for it. They're not right to be assholes. If you don't like the casting choices, don't fucking insult other people, piece of shit. Just don't do that, okay? Oh, God. Oh, my God. And if people still think that Wheel of Time casting was correct, you do know that wasn't Seamus Gallagher the guy who made all those famous Wheel of Time portraits of the characters? Wasn't he given the correct nod by Robert Jordan? You know? And all of the characters except two of them were white. It's just, don't put words in Robert Jordan's mouth. Don't make it like Robert Jordan is not J.K. Rowling, to where she never specified uh, Hermione's skin color and so automatically she's black. But conveniently, she does specify every other black character being black. It's just, don't think that Robert Jordan's like that, okay? Then again, maybe if Robert Jordan lived till now, he would be like that. Everyone else is fucking brainwashed. Why wouldn't he be, you know? Almost every, God, I only have respect for authors now that's not the ones that don't have a Twitter, but ones that stay clear of it usually. Um, I don't like a lot. Like there's a lot of authors I don't like anymore. Um, some because of their political leanings, others because of their stupid logic on Twitter, and others because they're trying to be woke just for brownie points. God, I hate saying that word. It just, it's just bad. It's just bad. Just it's so much don't meet your heroes kind of thing. But you know, what are you gonna do? So, all right. Well, hope you guys found this informative. Sorry about the rant. Appreciate you watching. Please like or subscribe if you care to, and comment with what you think below. All right. Thanks, guys.